Welcome back. This is Weeknights. I am JD, aka He Who Pods, aka Rearview Mirror, glasses on.
And I am Dash, aka Dashing D, aka when you have lemons, you make lemonade.
All right. That was good. I did not expect that. I was like, what? What's she saying over there? All right. Including our wardrobe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not? Just very summery today, so I've even got lemon in my water. You can't see it, but it's in here.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got new music
We do.
on a Wednesday, which I like. Random.
Yeah, it's always fun when they put it out on a weird day.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
F that Friday stuff.
Uh-huh.
You good?
Somebody's walking their dog, that's all.
Got it. Yeah, so Lana Del Ray, I thought it was Lana Del Rey featuring Quavo, but it's looking like it's Quavo featuring Lana Del Rey.
Very
Plot
fascinating.
twist.
They're a fascinating pair. People have been trying to figure out if they are in fact a pair. No one knows
Yep.
for sure.
Nobody knows.
We just know that they seem to like each other's company, and now they've made a song together. And maybe they like each other's company because they made a song together. I don't know. I don't know which one came first, but
The classic question:
yeah. And it's really none of our business. But
the chicken or the egg?
Okay.
The answer is the egg. But anyway,
So Tough is the song. There's a song and a video. They teased it. They actually performed it recently,
yes,
live, and they teased that the song and the video would be dropping today, and it did.
right.
Yeah, a little July 3rd drop. So
What's that today? Today's the 3rd. Man, I don't even know what day it is. Yep, you're right.
today is the 3rd. So, what did you think?
I thought it was cool. It's cute. It was cute, like, it was a cool song, and then at the end I said, "Oh, you guys, look
Yeah.
at y'all," you know?
Did you watch the video or you just listened to the song?
I did watch the video. I actually watched it 2 times. They got 2 views out of me.
Watched it. They were very lovey-dovey in the video.
Well, that's the theme of the song, so that made sense.
Mhm.
I was a little nervous when he had the gun, over his shoulder. I said, "Man, I hope there were no accidents on set." But it looked like he survived,
I
and
think
so that's good.
if there were accidents, we would have heard about it. So grateful that there weren't any, because we know how that can go.
I was just a little confused when he said, "Come up north." And he lives in the south, so she lives further south.
Oh yeah, isn't he from Atlanta?
Yes, he is. But I guess she lives further south. There are places further south. So, but that threw me off. I was like, "Wait, did he say come up north?"
Right, because we're from North. So I think it's really hard to hear people say things like that because so
I was
where
like,
does
"Wait a
that
minute.
mean?
Hmm.
It's like Southeast Queens.
South.
Where exactly are you talking about? Which streets over there?
Where exactly are you talking about? Tell me. But yeah, it's
I
neither here
don't
nor there.
I
I
don't know that
thought.
area.
Right. Yeah, definitely not. But that threw me off. But besides that, I thought it was cool. It was a little sappy at the end.
I
You
mean,
know.
I feel like the whole thing is sappy, no?
Well, I mean the record, not necessarily the video. The whole video
No,
was sappy. Yeah.
I mean the record was.
Uh, it was a. Here I go with the term. It was a girl record.
I thought it was a pretty
But
song. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna be honest. I listened to it twice, and I don't know. I don't know what the song's about. I just know that it was like a song that you kind of sway to, and maybe it
it's
was because
about
I was doing other things and I wasn't really like connecting with the words the way I probably should have been to do this review, but it was just pretty to me. I was like, "Oh, this sounds pretty. I like the way it sounds." But I don't know
Yeah.
what they talking about. I assume they talking about being in love because they all hugged up and on the farm
Well, the
or
song is
wherever, or the
saying
ranch
that,
or wherever they are, and but
but
that's what I gathered from
oh, you took a long pause. I didn't know what was about to happen.
you. Just
Um,
you were just staring, and I was like,
because you said but, and then you just waited. So I was waiting too. Um, it's about holding each other down when things get tough,
I
and
figured that.
he speaks a little bit
Yeah.
about things being tough for him. She speaks a little about things being tough for her. You know.
What happened? Like her white daddy didn't want her to be with him or something?
So yeah, I thought it was a good video. He told her how to shoot.
His black mama said, "Look out for them white girls."
See, I tried to move on. Tried to move on.
I kid.
Well, he was home on the range,
Low
and
hanging fruit.
well, you got fruit with you today, so
I mean, listen, it's a fruitful day.
holler. Yeah. Anyway, I thought the song was cool. And then it kind of got like real sappy at the end. I said, "Oh, you guys, okay." You know,
So you were into it at the end.
they took it to another level with the sappiness, and I thought that was good. That was smart. And yes, I actually just looked at YouTube a second ago, and it is Quavo's song featuring Lana Del Rey. But it's almost like a duet. Like they're
Yeah,
singing the hook together, they're singing different parts together. This was a really collaborative record.
yeah. It's that. It seems to me that that's the way they positioned it. Even if someone
Mhm.
is assuming ownership of it, they positioned it as a duet. Even
Yeah,
when they performed it recently, it looked to me like it was. I thought both of them would be on equal footing. I know sometimes you don't see it too often these days, but I know sometimes two people will have a song and they'll claim the song as both of theirs. So
yeah,
that's what I assumed this was going to be. But it's very much a duet. They very much, match each other. Um,
yeah,
Quavo's really singing too.
yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Don't feel it.
I
Good try
know
though.
how much you love rappers who sing.
But
Um,
that's what Quavo does, so that's not surprising to me. The Migos don't just rap. The Migos have always been melody driven, harmony driven.
Yeah, but what the Migos does versus what this is, I don't look at the view of those two things the same. Do you?
I'm saying it's not very far from the wheelhouse. Like it's not much different.
Okay, I hear you.
He wasn't trying to sound like Whitney Houston. He
No,
was
but
still it was still melodic rap.
okay.
I mean, I hate using all of these terms because I think they're weird, but yeah, he's in that like singing, rapping
Mhm.
kind of, not really fully holding notes, but not just rapping either. Disagree? Think he was holding notes?
I don't know about holding notes. I just felt like it was like it felt like he was trying to sing. Like it wasn't like a
He's harmonizing, no?
yeah. I guess so. I just feel like when it's a rap song, like they're not like trying to like get it to be perfect. I guess they kind of just do it and
So you think this was more of an R&B-esque song?
I don't know if I
Because I
would
see
call it.
that too.
I don't know.
It sounded almost like a country record, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Which
just
is
feel
why I
like
thought the video was on point.
right. I just feel like the parts where he's singing. I don't feel like he's rap singing or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but that's what I mean. I feel like it's a little bit different from what rappers typically do or hip hop artists typically do. Um, not to say like again, like you to use your example, it's not that he sang like Whitney Houston or anything like that, but I just feel like he was actually attempting to sing versus, you know, upset at it, so all my people in here. Like I feel like that's rap singing or whatever it's I don't know what to call I never know what to call that, but I feel like that's
That's why these
something
topics are always weird for me, because all these people sing but not really.
right. And I feel like that's a little bit different than what he was doing on this
Like
song.
even Drake's R&B records, which is what you could compare this to. I mean, this has more auto tune than a Drake singing record, but they don't ever really. It's not.
Or maybe
It's
because she
harmonizing.
yeah. And maybe because she's singing too, maybe I'm hearing it differently. I don't know.
No, no, no. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying, to me, this is always the classification beef, because people who sing, like J. Cole sings on records, like Drake has full R&B albums. It's not R&B to me. That's not traditional R&B. And those people who sing like this Quavo record, if Lana Del Rey decides to actually sing, Quavo would not be able to compete. I'm not trying to knock Quavo. It's just that's what makes it hard for me to discuss these types of records all the time,
Mhm.
both on and off pod, because there's a thing today where the rappers sing, but it's more harmonizing than singing. But they walk around and their fans walk around saying, "Oh yeah, that Drake R&B song, this Quavo song where he's singing." That's not really singing. Like, that's not Mariah Carey. That's not Tank. That's not Whitney Houston. That's not Drew Hill. That's traditional R&B. I don't know what to call these type of records where they're just harmonizing. It's not that I'm saying it's good or bad. I just think it's a different classification
Mhm.
of singing. Like, what Lana Del Rey normally does is singing for real.
Yeah.
This is harmonizing. This was probably a walk in the park for her vocally. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't know how ever to categorize this music. People say like contemporary R&B, traditional R&B. They make all these little quote unquote subgenres.
Mhm.
And I don't even like subgenres, but that's what they're called, right? And so yeah, Quavo is singing, but Quavo is harmonizing with heavy auto tune. That's not the same thing as like Eric Bellinger and Neo. Like, it's a very
No.
different class. And so, yeah, to me, whatever, he's harmonizing and it sounds good in this record. I know it sounds like I'm being probably derogatory here or negative. I just think it should be classified separately. And so, to me, records where people are harmonizing like this one, it's fine. It's not that I think it's trash. I just think it's a different world from where you come from. Just a small joke. I think it's a different world than what the real singers do. And I get into this debate with people all the time off pod, because people are like, no, I sing. No, this person sings. No, Drake is an R&B artist. No, no,
Who
no,
says
no.
Drake is an R&B artist?
The BET Awards and plenty of other people. Um,
Well, didn't the BET Awards wasn't it like a combined category though? That's the issue I think with award shows these days now is that they try to combine categories. Wasn't it like R&B and pop? And Drake would be I would consider Drake pop. I wouldn't consider him R&B.
I'll have to look back. But my
I,
point is, people think that Drake has the capability to sing. Drake can harmonize. J. Cole can harmonize. Quavo can harmonize. Offset can harmonize. There's a whole list of people who can harmonize, but harmonizing is very different than full on singing. And that's what's challenging for me, is that people try to categorize them in the same place. I don't think that's
no.
the same category. So yes, on this record, Quavo is singing, but Quavo is more harmonizing than full on singing. I think what Lana Del Rey can actually do is sing. I think on this record, she did a great job of bringing herself down to the level of where Quavo is at and what he can do. And that's not a knock. Quavo is super talented. I'm just saying that I think there's a difference between harmonizing and singing.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion.
I mean, I think there's a difference. I guess I've never heard anybody refer to Drake as an R&B artist. That's why I'm like, or
But he
any
has
of
a full that
or any
album,
of
that
them.
disc of Scorpion where he's singing. What do they call? You know what they say that disc is? He's an R&B album.
Oh, I've just never even considered that Drake could be an R&B artist.
But that's
I
but that's
think
what I'm
that
saying.
there's a lot of overlap and a lot of crossover with R&B and hip hop. I think that's just a fact.
Today,
Um,
yeah.
but I don't. That doesn't make me say that like any of them, any of the popular hip hop artists. It doesn't make me think that they're R&B singers. I just
But that's even a category. I think it's the Grammys. It's like it's called melodic rap.
well, melodic rap but we're still acknowledging it as rap. We're not calling them R&B singers. I think that's different. No.
Sure.
Well, I'm asking you because is it rap or is it R&B?
I just looked up melodic rap artists on Google. Here are some of the people that came up: Juice World, Lil Yachty, Post Malone, Drake, Sway Lee, Kid Cudi, The Kid Laroi. I don't know who that is, or maybe I'm not used to hearing it pronounced that way. Chamillionaire, Ye, Nelly, Slick Rick, Lil Skies, Lil Mosey, Trippie Redd, J. Cole, Eon
So
Dior,
anyone who started after the year 2003.
Future, Kendrick Lamar, Logic, Tory Lanez, Chance the Rapper, Nate Dogg, YK Osiris, Anderson Paak. Like Anderson Paak can actually sing though. That's the chat. Like to me, that's kind of the challenge. Little Kim, Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Travis Scott. I mean, I don't know why Migos is not up here. They should be. But Chris Brown, I mean, technically, yeah. But and that's what I'm saying. Like that group of people, they can all hold a note of sorts, but they not they not singers for real.
No, and I don't think they are. That's why I think that melodic rap makes more sense to me than calling them R&B artists. I don't think they are R&B artists. But
Right, but then so what do you categorize this record as? I wonder what Google
I
categorizes
don't
this.
know. What is Lana Del Rey considered? Is she considered R&B? I don't know what this.
Um,
I don't know what this would be. I don't know what this would be. Um,
see, this is where racism comes in. I just looked it up. It says this is a Lana Del Rey song. Oh, and I found lyrics. Anyway, this says it's pop.
yeah, and that's the only
Google
place
says
I
it's
can
pop.
put it because I think Lana Del Rey is considered pop. Is she not?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's what drives. I think that's what drives that question or that answer.
Variety wrote an article. Just want to see what it says as far as the category here. I also thought it was interesting that the video was purposely done in like the old school look.
Oh,
Um,
I did like that.
yeah, it looked like old school footage. It didn't take up the full screen. It's supposed to
Like
be
old
like kind of
movie.
old.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, it doesn't say anything about. It describes what the song sounds like. That it has 808s and twangy guitars, but it doesn't really say. Oh, okay, wait, I'm wrong. The single was said to be part of Del Rey's incoming country album, Lasso. However, the song appears only on Quavo's YouTube channel. See?
I mean, maybe they'll both claim the song. I don't know. I don't know how that. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I don't know. I don't want to get too caught up in trying to put them in a box, or put anyone in a box for that matter, in trying to define exactly what it is.
Hmm.
I prefer when I honestly prefer when they say this is what this is.
Yeah.
But let's do it Keith Lee style. 1 out of 10. What you rating this song? We tried it. Now we rate it 1 through 10.
I don't like this. Um, a
I mean, we've
7.
spent 20 minutes talking about it, so we might as well give it a rating.
I guess it's a 7, 7.5.
Yeah, I would give it a solid 7 too.
It's cool.
I don't know if I would give it. I don't know what they said, so I can't give them higher marks. I
The,
have no
the
idea what
lyrics,
they were
the
talking
lyrics
about.
matter that much to you?
I mean, it's a song, so words do matter. If
There's
it's
lyrics.
a song where there are words, you don't have to read them. But I'm just saying, it's um it's pretty without me knowing exactly what they said. So
Hmm.
7 is solid. Maybe if I heard the lyrics, I would have given them maybe a 7.5 or an 8. But I don't know.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's do that.
So, there's a lot going on over at Disney with Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Uh, First, Inside Out 2 is said to be, let me just pull this up.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Inside Out is said to become the fastest animated film to gross $1 billion worldwide at the box office.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. And
Wonderful.
also spectacular.
It's just divine.
It's also said here, Forbes says um, there's a spin-off series coming to Disney Plus.
Exciting.
Um, yeah, it says a new.
I'm laughing because I just blurt out words. And what makes me laugh is because I'm realizing I realized the other day I do this at work. Like I do this on work calls where I just I don't really want to be a part of the conversation. Like the small talk. But every now and again I just say a word that sums up
All right.
everything.
Clown. Clown. Ridiculous.
Just gets caught off guard because I wasn't saying anything.
All right.
Anyway, let's let's keep it going.
So it says Disney and Pixar's new sequel, Inside Out 2, has been breaking records since its theatrical release on June 14th. The film also proved to be a hit overseas. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Mother flower. Mhm.
if you could only if you could describe Inside Out 2 in one word, if you could only blurt out one word, what word would you use?
I wouldn't use one word.
I'm just Oh my gosh, you never want to play games with me.
It's not the time to play games. We're bonding. Say Uno. Okay, the new Inside Out
Draw
spin-off
four.
series will
Actually, draw one word.
The new Inside Out spin-off series will premiere on Disney Plus in spring of 2025. The streaming platform has yet to announce the exact date. Quote, "We have finished. It's coming out next spring," revealed Peter Docter, the chief creative officer at Pixar Animated Studios, in a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly. The Inside Off spin-off series will focus on the movie studio that makes Riley's dreams. That's interesting. The first film, remember, we go to dream production to see how Riley's dreams are made. It semi-explains why they're so weird. We've continued the exploration of the power of dreams and how they affect us in our waking life as well. So it's pretty cool. That's it. That's from a Forbes article.
I'm excited about
So
that.
yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it would be more about Riley, not about her dreams.
Well, I guess
But
if they have more films coming, then because
yeah,
they could easily squeeze out like Riley's about to go to high school, so they could totally do like her high school years. They could totally do Riley in college. They could ride this out at least until Riley goes to college. So I feel like there's there's more movies to make.
yeah. My
Um,
daughter guessed the next one would be when Riley's going to college.
I think that makes sense.
And
I think
and she was excited because she said this one came out as I'm going to high school. And so I need the next one to come out when I'm going to college. And I said, all right, girl.
that's
That's
sweet,
not you. That's not. I don't know if that's how this is gonna work, but okay.
but maybe you never know. Um,
Sure.
but so I do think it's okay for them to veer off a little bit, and kind of explore something deeper.
Yeah,
And maybe we learn some things about dreams. I mean, the one word I would use to describe Inside Out 2 would be anxiety.
I thought that would be your one word.
And I'm not gonna give away the movie. I know the movie just came out, but
See, but I would disagree. I would say if I had to use one word, it would be balance.
well, that's definitely a better word. I just but yeah, totally get balance. Makes sense. Which I think is, even in the first film, is very much the takeaway. Um, yeah, balance in all things.
Yes.
You gotta keep the skills balanced. But
Yes.
the reason I say anxiety is because I think sometimes we don't think about it as simply as it was brought to us in the film. And I think it's really valuable to hear it explained in such a simplistic way. Um, I think it's valuable. I think that some people don't even realize, and I think if you watch this film, it's like, oh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I see what you did there. I see what you said. See what you said. Mm-hmm. Yep, got it. Stop yelling.
Stop
Okay?
yelling.
Stop yelling. Right. But anyway, so this is cool. This is exciting. I would watch that.
I mean, it's smart. It's smart to build on another piece of the puzzle as opposed to the main story. And also, we didn't say congratulations. Congratulations to Inside Out 2 for making $1 billion
Yeah,
that quickly worldwide. That's super fly, and I can understand why. Because my daughter is already ready to see it again.
it was great. And
When we went to see If the following weekend, she was like, "It's a tough choice, but I guess we can see If." I said, "Girl, you want to see Inside Out 2 again?" She's like, "Yes, yes, I do want to see it again." It's like, all right, okay, girl.
yeah, and shout out to Io Edeberry. Jealousy.
Oh, that's
Her.
who she plays.
Mhm.
Didn't know that.
Yep, that's her. And the Bear. I think the new season of the Bear just came out, so good for her. She's got a
Yes,
lot
it did.
going on.
Yes, she does.
She's definitely having an amazing year.
Yep,
So yeah, I thought it was cool that she was in the film. Um, so yeah, we got another topic.
we do. Let me pull it up. So You know, YouTube is doing some things.
Mm-hmm. Over there at the Google Meister, they've they're doing some stuff, you know.
Don't say Google Meister. All right, this article comes from The Verge. It says YouTube is trying to make AI music deals with major record labels. Google is taking a permission first approach as labels. Permission first is quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
as labels and
I'm saying,
artists.
but it's because I read the article.
Right, it wasn't for you. It was for the fans, motherfucker. Motherfucker!
My bad.
Google is taking a quote unquote permission first approach as labels and artists sue other AI music companies. It says after debuting a generative AI feature last year that produces music in the style of famous artists like Charlie XCX, John Legend, and T-Pain, YouTube is now asking major record labels to allow it to clone more musicians. According to the Financial Times, the Google-owned video platform is offering to pay Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Records, quote, lump sums of cash in exchange for licensing their songs to legally train its AI music tools. YouTube told the Financial Times that it's not looking to expand Dream Track, which was supported by just 10 artists during its test phase, but confirmed it was, quote, in conversations with labels about other experiments. The platform is aiming to license music from dozens of artists, quote unquote dozens, of artists according to the report, which will instead be used to train new AI tools that YouTube is planning to launch later this year. The fee that YouTube is willing to pay for these licenses hasn't been disclosed, but the report says these will likely be one off payments rather than royalty based arrangements. That's important. Regardless, both artists and labels that represent them will likely take some convincing. Sony Music has extensively warned AI companies against quote unquote unauthorized use of its content, and UMG was willing to temporarily pull its entire music catalog from TikTok after inadequate protections against AI generated music licensing negotiations to fall apart, which caused, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. UMG was willing to pull its entire music catalog from TikTok after inadequate protections against AI generated music caused licensing negotiations to fall apart. Negotiations, couldn't say that word right there. Back in January, over 200 artists, including Billie Eilish, Pearl Jam, and Katy Perry, also called for tech companies to cease using AI to, quote, infringe upon and devalue the rights of human artists.
Right, which we talked about that when that happened, when UMG pulled their music, and then eventually they ended up making a deal with TikTok, and
And the music is back.
they're friends again. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
So there you go.
what do you think about this? I just curious.
So it's going to be me today, huh? You ain't starting no topics today?
I didn't
It's all
start
right.
the Inside Out topic.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Let me sip some water, and then I'll tell you.
I'm over here trying to give you the floor. I'm trying to make sure that you get to speak on your platform.
I can smell the bullshit all the way over here.
Excuse me.
Anyway,
Rude.
nigga said, put him in the hot spot. Him first.
No, just because I don't really have like a whole lot to say. I can go first. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. Um, I think AI is weird.
Okay.
I don't think that AI is bad. I know there are people who just very against it. I think it can be beneficial for certain things. Um, and I think we're still as a society trying to figure out where the middle ground is with AI. Like, it's still evolving. So when it comes to music, to me, it's weird, and I think I've said this here before, that it's weird because I don't like not being able to differentiate between it being AI versus it being an artist.
Right.
I guess if you involve the record labels or if you involve the artists, then technically it sort of is them. Um, so that's an angle, but I think it's weird when it comes to stuff like this. I don't think that AI is bad in terms of like having technologies that are intuitive and, kind of able to assist um in ways that, like, if you had a human in your pocket to help you do certain things, like, I know it sounds silly, but I'm just saying, like Google launched Gemini, and it's supposed to make your life easier, or it's supposed to make things more efficient for you when you're using the internet. So I understand the benefits to AI. That's not the only one, but I understand that there are benefits to AI. I just feel like when it comes to music, it's always a little strange. Um, I don't want I don't want AI like Drake using Snoop's AI. You know what I mean? I don't want things like that. I don't care for stuff like that. Um so that's why I don't really have a whole lot to say. Like, I guess I would like to see this I would like to see what they do with this before just deciding like whether I'm into it or not, because it's just a little weird to me when it comes to music.
Gotcha. I have a similar stance. I feel like one, on the business side, is very smart of YouTube to attempt to get all of these artists to train their AI, right? So then once I launch whatever I'm launching, I can have a wide variety of artists, not necessarily only the ones on said label, right? So instead of saying, oh, I can only use, well, they have T Pain and John Legend, so I'll use those right now, right? So like currently you can only use T Pain and John Legend. But if they use this variety of artists to train, quote unquote, their AI, then whatever it is they're going to do, they can say, hey, we have the capability to make you sound like the whole Wu-Tang Clan. Or you can make a track with Wu-Tang featuring T-Pain, and then it's all good. Nobody even is going to know the difference. So I think on the business side, that's smart to say we want to get a barrage of artists, uh, music to quote unquote train our AI. Now, what I think on the flip side of that is kind of what you said. It's like, but what you going to do with it? Right? Because that matters. What is it that you're gonna do with this AI? Is it a filter that I can take my song and I can sound like, Ghostface Killer? Or is it gonna be that, I can just have Chat GPT come up with gangster rap lyrics and now it sounds just like Tupac? What is it gonna be? Is it gonna be that I can sound like XXX? I can just put it in and it'll create an XXX song. Um,
And then
I
what?
think all.
Sorry, I was going to throw a question in there.
Oh, you can ask me after this. I think all of that matters, right? Because the whole thing with AI and music is you can't just steal other people's intellectual property, right? That's why these big artists are saying it infringes on our rights and our ability to make money and music. So I think that matters. What are
Yeah,
you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying?
that
Is it like, oh, you can make Alexa sound like Snoop Dogg? Like, oh, okay, then who cares? Make Alexa sound like Snoop Dogg. I don't think that's the end of the world. But I shouldn't be able to do a double disc album with all the best living and dead artists, and it's just me.
was
Like
the
that.
question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like that's crazy. Like that's unacceptable, and people have to get paid for their worth. Also, on the business side, it's smart that they're saying we are not paying a royalty. We will pay you
Oh,
one time.
yeah,
We will pay you one time.
yeah. But
One.
that's really my question. Like, what are you able to do with it? Because if you can't, the internet is like, there are people distributing on a very large scale, but there are also like
Small fries like me.
smaller creators, mid-sized creators, or simply just people having fun on the internet who it's
Right.
not even really, they're not even looking at it as I'm a creator or anything like that. Simply just, oh, this looks fun to do. Let me try to
Right.
do this. But are we all distribute content, right? Like, in a matter of speaking, we all are able to take whatever content it is and put it in different places for people to receive it. So how does that work? Are you allowed to move it off of the YouTube platform and put it elsewhere? Like, how is this? Sure, it was paid for, right? Because they're saying that they're gonna pay artists to do this, but then
No, they
what?
want to pay labels.
Or
They
they're
don't
gonna
want to
pay
pay
labels
artists.
to do this,
Big
but
difference.
then what? Because if I, like you said, I would imagine you can't go and make an album with it, and because then what? And that's why I'm saying too, it makes it really difficult to differentiate between the artist and not the artist. Because let's say you do go and make like, of course, if it's a Tupac album, we know it's probably
Right, but
not
but
Tupac,
if I made a Drake album,
unless you were born before a certain year, and then you might think that it actually is Tupac. But
right, like
but
JB knew Tupac. Wow, what a guy!
yeah, or like,
So well versed.
did you visit him?
You know what I'm saying?
Because
In the afterlife,
or the current life, depending on what you believe. So,
I
anyway,
went straight to Cuba. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
mean,
was
that's
in
what
Cuba.
everybody used to
I was
say,
in Cuba
right?
with Pac.
That's what everybody used to say.
Nah,
People
but
were,
it's true. If I suddenly have a duet album with Drake, you'd be like, how you and Drake got an album together all of a sudden? Like
and and what
now
can
I
you
just
do with
got
that?
billions of streams.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused about that part of it. I would love to know more about that, because I think that creates an inefficiency in content creation, and I don't. Someone would have to tell me like what you do with that, because I think it does hinder
Right, because then all
the.
Drake fans would just be bumping my song with Drake.
Yeah, it
You know?
just doesn't. It kind of doesn't make sense. Um,
And then I'd make it some weird shit on purpose because I'm an asshole. It'd be like a Star Wars themed album, and then Drake is singing about Darth Vader.
that would be funny. But what if? And then also, does that mean that you get to monetize that? Like, because YouTube has its own monetization mo-
Monetization
monetization
policies.
model. So what happens there? Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. I
And
don't.
that's what I'm saying. It all depends. What are they gonna do with that
Yeah,
afterwards? Because clearly that's phase one. Well, I think even phase two, because phase one to me was that 10 artist beta program. This has been Weeknights. Thank you for being
it looked
here.
like there was something on my eye. I was just making sure there was something. Did you? It looked like there was a dot underneath my eyes. Oh my gosh, what happened? I'm concerned. You want me on the pod looking crazy? With co-hosts like this, who needs enemies?
Vanity.
Vanity? Okay.
Try to be like you. One word. Just blurt out one word. You
I know,
know?
I caught it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, it's not vanity. I come up here looking crazy with my hat on some days. I do whatever it takes to be here for this here podcast. I simply thought something was on my underneath my eye, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" And the only way that I could see it is by leaning into the camera. So I did. I'm happy to report that there's nothing there, but I think it was just my shadow.
Anxiety.
This has been Weeknights, and we are so grateful that you are here. This feels very much like a Friday. It is not. It is only Wednesday, so we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.